Okay, so I was thinking to myself, I've got to come up with some kind of theory that is so far out there because that's what, I'm sick of all this existing theories. I'm just, I'm bored with them. I got to come up with something that's so far out there, so new, that even I won't be able to believe it. So let's see. I was just watching this guy on Instagram. It was a little Instagram clip, one of those little 1 minute clips, and he did this amazing card trick. He showed a card, and then he took the card and he stuck it in his mouth. And then I watched it about 10 times to see if maybe he was using a video camera and he just stopped the camera for a minute and freeze framed it from just stopped the camera, and then maybe he went in and he changed the card in his mouth and then started the camera again. But I looked at it and it was perfectly aligned. Like I was looking at his jawline, and had a hoodie on. And I was looking to see, is there any sign that somewhere in there he stopped the camera, and during the time the camera was stopped, he put a different card in his mouth. And I looked and I looked and I looked, and I couldn't see any break at all. There was no sign that, that he did that to fake the video. But he stuck the card in, and it was whatever the card was. I think it was a 4 of hearts. And then he pulled it out and he flipped it up, and it was like a 5 of clubs, completely different card. And I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. And somebody made a comment and they said, well, I watched it a couple of times and I figured it out. It's like, no one figures this out. That is like, and he's like me. He didn't have long sleeves. So if it was sleight of hand, some sleight of hand people, if they have long sleeves up here, in their arm, they can tuck a card in there. But it was just bare skin, just like this. And he put a card in his mouth, and he flipped flipped it over. It was a different card, and I don't know how it does other than real magic. Now, not too many people believe that real magic is possible. Are you one of those people that believe magic is real? I don't know what the percentage of the population is that believes in God. A 100 years ago, probably 90% of the population believed in God. I don't think it's nearly that high now. I mean, 100 years ago, 90% of the population went to church every Sunday. Not where I live. Churches are all empty. So I don't think people believe in God. But does that mean like they totally just believe in nothing possible supernatural? Nothing is supernatural. There's no way. Personally, I've seen things that I would call magic. And I'm always looking to see, because I've seen so much computer generated animation, and this, like, is somebody at their house, an amateur magician, gonna figure out a way to do super high tech Hollywood quality animation, computer generated animation, to change a card that he's got stuck in his mouth on video to a different card? Because I think they could do it. They could do it with really high tech computer video software. I'm sure they could do it, because they tell us they do it in like Star Wars, right? Carrie Fisher, the actress, is dead, and yet they still use her. And in a video, 1 or 2 videos ago, I talked about how I was watching one video where they took an image of Barack Obama and they made him say things that the real Barack Obama never said. So a computer can do it. But I don't know, maybe on the sly, somebody could do, somebody could get this software, but is it that good? So that, I mean, when you're looking at a movie on a movie screen, there's so much stuff going on in this scene. And we've seen some of these animations that are very lifelike, but they're animations. And you people that play video games, I haven't played video games in, I don't know, 18 years. I used to play them a lot, but I know that these video games have way better graphics. But I mean, can you take your picture on your own computer at home and upload it onto the computer and then have these kind of magic trips appear? Well, I can't do it on my smartphone, but I hate to go down that road all the time because it's a cop out. It means like you're never going to believe in real magic that's not computer generated animation. That's the problem with the CGI. It's ruined magic because people are always going to say, I've seen the video, they faked the video. Because I know they faked the video on the news. I mean, it gets ridiculous, the computer generated animation. Because I was looking, again, it was a video clip from, I think it was either YouTube or Instagram. And they were taking a clip from a new movie, and there was a tsunami. And so they had real people and they had CGI, a huge wave come in and, like come into a city. And the graphics engines are so good to reproduce moving water that, the wave looked real, but they screwed it up. They overacted the CGI so that when the wave came into the scene with the humans, it didn't look realistic. That's where they really fell down because they made it it was too much. It didn't look real at that point. So, and I think it was just like, when they were in the computer generated animation studio, they just overdid it. They overdid it. It didn't look real. But, when I remember when they had these videos of like the tsunami that supposedly hit various places, Japan and Thailand. And I kept looking at the video because this was going through my head at the time, like, could this be faked by computer generated animation? And I looked at it and looked at it and looked at it, and I said, this could be fake just by eyeballing it. It's just like, it could be faked. And does it really look realistic to me? I really looked at it and I said, if I was going to bet these videos of Fukushima and Thailand, the tidal waves, the videos to me looked fake. They looked like the quality of a really good video game. I looked at them over and over again. And, I didn't fly over to Japan to go and look at the devastation, if it's real or not. I didn't go to Thailand to see. If you were Truman in The Truman Show, The Truman Show, Jim Carrey. Some people don't know The Truman Show. The Truman Show is Jim Carrey was living in, he was born into a TV show, right from a baby, and it was all actors. Everyone was acting in his reality, and he was an adult, and everyone was acting the whole time. I should never have made that movie because once you've watched that movie, there's a certain element of paranoia that comes after watching that movie and seeing how good computer generated animations are. And, to have Donald Trump keep talking about fake news, fake news, fake news. I don't know, but this isn't going to work because, other people have already thought of these things: computer generated animation, Truman Show, The Matrix, which is like, oh, that's the old movie. Maybe some of you people have never seen the Matrix movies, but it was the idea that um, if you have like a brain implant or something connected to your spinal cord and your brain, as that's how they made it set up, and then you're in virtual reality. You couldn't tell the difference between the virtual reality and physical reality. And then they just had this new Jumanji movie where the people got uploaded into the movie. And I didn't watch Ready Player One, but I think it's kind of the same. The idea of virtual reality. So, I don't want to play it. I mean, it's just ruined my ideas about magic. Because, if you live in the simulated reality, it's trivial to make magic happen because you got supercomputers, super quantum computers, and I don't know. It's ruined everything because everyone, maybe not you, but me, I'm always thinking, like it was Arthur C. Clarke. He was a science fiction writer from way back in like the 1940s. And he came up with a statement: um, sufficiently advanced technology and magic are indistinguishable. It just ruins it. Like what if you went back to, I don't know, like let's say the year 500, the year 500, and it's like very, could you have real magic then before computers were invented? But then I keep thinking, I watched that movie. It was called Westworld. I think it was redone. The original was on television in about 1978. And it was just a simulated reality theme park. And, they had like the Western saloon area where you could have a Western kind of experience. And then they had Fantasyland, and they had another one that was, like medieval. It's so hard to put myself back into the olden days. Were they ever real, or is it all like, I'm just contaminated by this computer generated animation, contaminated by all these ideas of the computers running your reality. I just want an old fashioned magic.